Hello and welcome back to TMS TV. I am so excited to be chatting with Kelly Newton today. Kelly is the founder of NIXI Body, a discreet leak-proof underwear company. Kelly, welcome. Thank you for talking to me today.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Can I ask you, what was the inspiration behind NIXI Body and what does it mean to run this company for you?
Okay, so NIXI Body are washable, absorbent and discreet knickers for leaks and for periods, unpredictable periods. So I started the company after my own issue of really heavy periods, but then starting early menopause and then suffering with leaks. So I also have 4 teenage daughters that have periods, so we were very conscious about how much waste we were producing as a family, and just decided that we needed to look into a different way to menstruate, basically.
Thank you for coming up with this idea, first and foremost. I can imagine that in a professional setting, we are women and we go through these biological events every month. They might happen, but you're still expected to show up and perform and be present, and it might not always coincide with what your body wants to do. So what has the feedback been from your consumers, your professional working women?
Okay, so it takes away a lot of the embarrassment, I think, of having to deal with periods, maybe dealing with unpredictable periods if you're going through the menopause, but also having to deal with leaks. I don't think the facilities are great in some places where people work. There's a stigma still around these subjects. They're still deemed as being taboo subjects to talk about. So anything that we can give women to make their life easier, to give them more confidence, to even just allow them to carry on with their day-to-day life, then I think products like these are really needed.
So just on that then, and thinking about event design, of course we're here at Excel Centre, the meeting show at the moment. How do you think that inclusive event design can accommodate women who are going through these changes or menstruating?
Yeah, so basically, women's health has been underlooked for such a long time. There weren't trials done on women's health and things like that. So, and in fact, doctors haven't had the right training in some cases, to do with the menopause. So we need to have open conversations about what's going on in women's lives. It is embarrassing. It's not something that everybody wants to talk about, everybody feels confident talking about, but we need to be more open about these conversations, and we need allies in men. Men need to appreciate what women go through. So we've got the cycle of menstruation, we have motherhood, we have menopause. Women have these peaks and troughs in their lives where we still need to work, we still need to function, but we need those facilities to be able to be able to do that. So conversations, we need to be speaking about these things, opening conversations.
So we're having this conversation right now. Yep. We're both very open to talking about these things. But how do we get other people on board? Where do those conversations begin?
You tell me. It's like, it needs to start from the top. I think there needs to be almost like a mandate. We need to have a policy in every workplace, whether that's outdoors, indoors, wherever. We need to be speaking about this. Somebody needs to be the catalyst to make this conversation start. So whether it's something that we introduce within HR, it needs to happen. I don't know how that's going to happen, but the conversation needs to start somewhere. Somebody needs to make that first step, because women, we are a huge part of the workforce, and if we're going to then not be able to work because of these symptoms, these things that we're dealing with, these life things that we're dealing with, then the workforce is going to stop. So it's in everybody's benefit for us to have these conversations. It needs to start now. Should have started a long time ago.
But at least we're having these conversations now.
Absolutely.
So going back to NIXI Body then, how does the technology work?
Okay, so there are actually, what we've designed, the technology was already out there. Our design is just very different to the knickers that are already on the market. There are 4 layers of absorbent gusset. So the top layer is moisture wicking, and it pulls the moisture away to a very absorbent second layer. Then there's a third layer that's waterproof, so it doesn't go through to the outer layer. There are different absorbency levels. So they are just for light leaks or kind of light to heavy periods, not for full incontinence, but they are able to hold the absorbency, so you can kind of carry on with your day-to-day life, or until you're able to reach a toilet. I mean, with events like this, you might be on a stand all day and you're concerned about the fact that your bladder is leaking you, letting you down, and you're not going to get to the toilet in time. These kind of give you the confidence to be able to carry on throughout the day and not worry about that.
I can imagine that you've had a lot of clients, a lot of consumers say to you, thank you first and foremost, but also I've told my girlfriends, I've told my mum, and that word of mouth that just helped so many people.
Absolutely. It's a very niche product, and we're dealing with a very taboo subject. So, we've been trading now for 4 years. It's taken us a long time to kind of get the word out that we're there, but the majority of our customers come from word of mouth. It's a recommendation from somebody else. And if you think about, I think there's 3 to 6 million people in the UK alone that suffer with some degree of urinary incontinence. That actually rises to 1 in 2 for menopausal women who are also dealing with unpredictable periods. And over half of the population menstruates. So, we're not talking small numbers here. We're talking about a huge part of the workforce that are suffering with these issues. So, let's get the conversation open. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Lastly then, Kelly, where can people find NIXI Body and your products?
So we are online at NIXI Body, that's NIXI body.com. We're also on social media, so you can find us on Instagram or Facebook. We're on TikTok, and I can be found on LinkedIn. I'm Kelly Newton. So happy to answer any questions that anyone wants to talk about.
Thank you so much for your openness and your honesty today.
You're so
Kelly.
welcome. Thank you for having me.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you.